Tougaloo, eagle queen, mother eagle, stir thy nest. Route thine eagles to the breezes, they enjoy the test. The 2019 sesquicentennial commencement ceremony will now begin.
Madam President, the 2019 Commencement Processional is assembled.
Thank you, Dr. Biswa. Dr. Biswa is chair of the Faculty Affairs Committee. You may be seated. Good morning, Tougaloo College family and friends. First, I want to acknowledge the presence of the chairman of our Board of Trustees, Dr. Wesley Prater, who's seated on the dais with us, and other trustees who are in the audience today, the administration, the faculty, the staff, alumni, students, special guests, and the families of the graduating class of 2019. We also have other special guests on the stage, including the deans, our academic deans, and the chaplain of Brown University, Reverend Janet Cooper Nelson, who gave the baccalaureate this morning. And most important today, I recognize the graduates of 2019, but this is indeed your day. The honor and recognition you will receive today is a result of your successful work, lessons learned, and growth attained. So congratulations. Thank all of you for assembling this beautiful Sunday morning to witness this significant milestone in these graduates' educational journey at historic Tougaloo College. We extend a special welcome to alumni and friends who have joined us from across the globe as we celebrate a very significant milestone in the college's rich history, 150 years of excellence, relevance, and influence. This is indeed a day in the history of Tougaloo College that we embrace and honor. At Tougaloo College, our academic mascot is the eagle, and we embrace the spirit of eagles. The embodiment of that spirit is freedom, achievement, pride, excellence, tenacity, perseverance, and leadership, which we work hard to instill in all of our eaglets before we release them to the breezes. They come to know how to fly, how to stretch beyond the commonplace, how to believe in themselves, and how to build a future. They will now join the ranks of other successful alumni who have distinguished themselves in their chosen careers and are making impactful contributions not only in the state of Mississippi, but throughout the world. At this time, it is my pleasure to bring the former college chaplain who has staying power with this college and loyalty as we seek another chaplain, Dr. Larry Johnson, who will deliver the invocation, and he will be immediately followed by Ms. Maria Thompson, the 2018-2019 Student Government Association President and Honor Student, will deliver the greetings. Dr. Johnson, please come.
Good morning. Let us pause now. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity together on this hallowed ground once again. We invite your presence. We invite you to observe the things that you have allowed in your sons and daughters who are assembled here. We ask that you would join us by way of your Spirit to celebrate with us the grace and mercy that have come to fruition. Lord, thank you for their dreams, their hopes, their aspirations. More than anything, Lord, thank you for their faithfulness to follow the path that you laid before them. Lord, I pray that all this graduating class turn their hands to, that they will prosper in your name. I pray your blessings upon all your sons and daughters who are assembled here, because I know, Father, you have walked with us throughout all generations, and it's fitting for us to give you the thanks and the glory. So as generations of graduating students and families before have done, We thank you, Lord, for bringing us to another day of graduation and celebration. In Christ Jesus' name, amen.
Good morning. Distinguished alumni and guests, welcome to Tougaloo College's sesquicentennial commencement exercise. Tougaloo College, where history meets the future. An institution that prepares its students to not only meet the future, but through its innovative curriculum and other expanded learning opportunities, prepares its graduates to make significant contributions in society that have a global impact. To Ms. Stacey Abrams, our distinguished speaker, thank you for sharing your time with us on this special occasion, and we look forward to hearing your message. To Dr. Beverly Hogan, I would like to take this opportunity to personally thank you for your leadership at this institution. You have been a remarkable leader and an excellent role model for students. Again, I greet and welcome each of you on behalf of the entire Student Government Association and the student body as we celebrate 150 years of excellence in scholarship and social justice and graduate another stellar class. Class of 2019, congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson, for that uplifting invocation and your engagement with us again after your retirement. And thank you, Ms. Maria Thompson, for that warm and welcoming greetings. And it has been my absolute honor to be your president. Now I invite to the podium the class of 2019 salutatorian from Greenville, Mississippi, Mr. John David Johnson, who will deliver an inspirational reading.
Okay, is this good? Okay. Good morning, and congratulations to the class of 2019. As all of you know, this has been an extremely long and trying journey. The late nights, early mornings, and enduring days have all led to this very moment. Before I begin, I just want to give an immense thank you to every parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, sibling, mentor, any and every person who put us before themselves and invested their time and love into us. None of this would be possible without your contribution, and we are the products of your efforts. I'd also like to give thanks to Tougaloo as an institution. Tougaloo has been an oasis of nurturing and knowledge for many, if not every single student present today. And while I know that this is a day to celebrate our successful completion of our undergraduate studies, I'd also like for us to acknowledge the fact that today marks the beginning of a lifelong test. Today marks the beginning of our matriculation into a country that was not built with us in mind. Almost every day as I walked to Kinchlow, I looked at that mansion that sits in the middle of our campus, and it reminded me of what this place used to be. It reminded me of the history of everything. It reminded me that I'll be expected to strive and survive in a country where slave masters became presidents, slave catchers became police officers, and slave codes became law. This is the motivation I took with me to every single class, and Tougaloo taught me with that same exact vigor. More than anything, I was taught the importance of seizing every opportunity to further myself intellectually, because in order to free myself from the constraints of the world, I must first become free in my mind. As I look into the audience, and I see so many of my peers who will be beginning their careers and attending various graduate and professional schools, it fills me with immense pride and happiness, because I know what you've endured to reach this place, and you truly deserve it. But just as I see a bright future for us all, I also see a deep-rooted and strong history. To see you all become successful is to see our ancestors' dreams realized. And I think, ultimately, it just leaves me with the question of, who could have known? Who could have known that the people they fought tooth and nail to hide knowledge from would one day become their instructor? Who could have known that the people they ran medical experiments on would one day become their physician? Who could have known that the people they tried unjustly in a court of law would one day become their lawyer? Who could have known the people whose history they tried to erase would one day become their historian? Who could have known that the slaves growing crops on these very grounds were actually the soil that we all would bloom from? Who could have possibly known that? We did.
What can I say? That's one of Tougaloo's finest. The spirit moved Mr. John when he was here, so thank you very much. At this time, the Tougaloo College renowned concert choir, under the direction of Assistant Professor of Music, Mr. Lawrence Abbott, will perform a musical selection. I now recognize the valedictorian and spokesperson of the graduating class of 2019, who will deliver the message on behalf of the class. She is a Hazelhurst, Mississippi resident and a mass communication major. She is an honors student who has maintained a 4.0 average throughout her matriculation. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Chandria Sutton.
Good morning. To President Hogan, our speaker, the Honorable Miss Stacey Abrams, faculty, staff, administrators, family, friends, and last but definitely not least, the graduating class of 2019. Today is the culmination of years of hard work and dedication. All the long nights, the study sessions, the prayers, the tears, they were not in vain. They all brought us to this very moment. After today, we will become alumni of not just any college, but a historical institution that has changed the lives of many all across the world. On these very grounds where our ancestors were oppressed as slaves, we work to educate ourselves and flourish into the professionals of the future. We can rest easy knowing that as a graduate of Tougaloo, we are leaving here today knowing more about ourselves, our respective majors, our history, and our culture, and we have no choice but to be successful. And thank you to everyone who helped us to achieve this, whether it be family, friends, professors, or mentors, and especially our parents. I know that I'm grateful for my mom and my dad. We appreciate you and could not have done it without you. But while this marks a tremendous achievement, it is still bittersweet. Today we turn the page on this chapter of our lives, and never again will we be undergrads working towards our bachelor's degree at Tougaloo College. After today, we will each go our separate ways and become members of the workforce or students in graduate school or medical school or law school or wherever God takes us. I'm sure that we will all miss the friends we made, the experiences we had, and all things unique to Tougaloo. I personally will miss my family at Pope Cottage. But we are not really leaving these things behind. They have permanently shaped us and helped us to become the people that we are today, and they will stay with us forever, no matter what we do or where we go. So I say to my classmates, congratulations. We have been blessed to not only earn these degrees, but to make memories that will last us a lifetime. As the class of 2019, we should especially be proud, as we are not just any class, but we are one of a kind. Today we make history as the 150th class and mark over a century and a half of excellence and rich history. So class of 2019, hold your heads high today and always, because as we walk across that stage, we will finally spread our wings and transition from eaglets to eagles. And the best part is, this is only the beginning. Thank you.
Join me in giving all of these students a round of applause. They make us proud. They are our future. Thank you, Ms. Sutton. At this time, Dr. Bianca Gardner, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, will come and present the recipients for the Meritorious Leadership Awards.
Each year, the Tougaloo College faculty recognizes and celebrates individuals with the Meritorious Leadership Award in recognition of their exceptional accomplishments. Recipients of this award are strong leaders and professionals who achieve results and consistently demonstrate strength, integrity, and a relentless commitment to excellence. Madam President, I am pleased to present this year's Meritorious Leadership Award recipients. Reverend Dr. Reginald M. Buckley, Dr. Maurice James, and Ms. Brenda Travis. The first recipient to be presented the Meritorious Leadership Award is the Reverend Dr. Reginald M. Buckley.
Trustee Prater and Reverend Reginald Buckley, please join us at the podium. Reverend Reginald Buckley, distinguished son of Tougaloo College. Through your inspiring presence, scholarship, and godly work, you personify the undeniable truth that you've met the highest professional and personal standards for leadership and service in accordance with the expectations of your alma mater. You have distinguished yourself among your peers by your faith, dignity, commitment, and uncompromising integrity, with the impeccable ability to move people conceptually, developmentally, and spiritually into the new realms of spiritual and intellectual growth. You are transforming the Cade Chapel Missionary Baptist Church, not only as a spiritual engine of influence in our city and state, but one with social and economic impact. Reverend Reginald Buckley, today we applaud you for your achievements, magnified by your good works, leadership, and humanitarian deeds, all of which serve to create a better world for all humankind. In recognition and appreciation thereof, Tougaloo College is honored to present you the Meritorious Leadership Award as we celebrate the college's sesquicentennial anniversary, dated under my hand and seal of Tougaloo College, given this 5th day of May 2019. Congratulations with appreciation.
The second recipient to be presented is for the Meritorious Leadership Award is Dr. Maurice James.
Dr. James, will you join us at the podium? Dr. Maurice James, you are indeed a man of vision, who decided early in your life, while growing up in Canton, Mississippi, you wanted to be a medical doctor to improve the quality of medical care for African Americans. Your vision inspired you to become a student at Tougaloo College, where you excelled as a biology major. Following your vision, you continued your education in pursuit of a medical degree at Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons in New York, which you received in 1975. You completed an internship and residency in ophthalmology at the Presbyterian Harlem Hospital program, where you were chief resident. Your path forward has been paved with clear markers of an impressive roster of accomplishments and contributions. For over 4 decades, you've been a dedicated practicing physician in ophthalmology. You are a history maker as the first board-certified African-American ophthalmologist and the first African-American video retina specialist in the state of Mississippi. The breadth of your interests and accomplishments interweave the skills of a practitioner, scholar, lecturer, researcher, leader, and author of an impressive list of publications. Dr. Maurice James, your life work has been inspiring as you've used your gifts to improve access to health care and to empower others to education. You've helped to make our world a better place. Today, we're pleased to acknowledge and salute your impressive accomplishments in humanitarian reach. Upon the recommendations of the faculty and approval of the Board of Trustees, it is our privilege to present you the Meritorious Leadership Award in this year's college's sesquicentennial anniversary. Dated under my hand in the seal of Tougaloo College, given this 5th day of May 2019. Congratulations, and with much appreciation. Thank you.
The final recipient to be presented the Meritorious Leadership Award is Ms. Brenda Travis.
Thank you. Ms. Travis, now, will you please join us at the podium? Ms. Brenda Travis, courage, freedom, warrior, trumpeter for justice, and guardian of peace, define the strength of your character and influence on our state and nation. Your sacrifices to change the injustices that limited individuals and society have been unyielding. Inspired by the work of the NAACP and SNCC, and likewise enraged by the travesty of injustice of the killing of Emmett Till and the rest of your 13-year-old brother, you vowed to take a stand at the young age of 16. You know well the price for taking a stand for freedom, the champion of equal rights and the destruction of Jim Crowism. You paid it time and time again. The essence of your lifetime contributions has effected change in our state and nation. In 2011, during the 50th anniversary of the student walkout, the Macomb School District awarded honorary diplomas to you and other suspended students due to the protest. Today, you bring training opportunities for youth leadership and community development to your hometown of Macomb through the Brenda Travis Historical Education Foundation. Brenda Travis, you have been a relentless, resilient, and resourceful advocate for civil and human rights. You are therefore a beacon to all of us in recognition and appreciation of your lifetime work to achieve the ideals of a more just and humane world. Tougaloo College is honored to present you the Meritorious Leadership Award as we celebrate Tougaloo College's sesquicentennial anniversary. Dated under my hand in the seal of Tougaloo College, given this 5th day of May, 2019. Congratulations, with so much appreciation.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Chairman Prater and I now have the distinct honor and privilege to announce the candidates to be conferred honorary degrees. An exceptional honor to individuals of noble intellectual, scholarly, professional, and creative achievement or service to humanity. Chairman Prater, will you come?
Good morning, Tougaloo College family. And if I may, I would like to say a special good morning to the class of 1969 for this weekend, known as the Golden Class, my class. So thank you for being here. Madam President, honorary degrees are only awarded to persons of acknowledged eminence in the arts, letters, and sciences whose contributions are so significant that their benefits are recognized and acknowledged on a state, national, and/or international level. It is customary for Tougaloo College to recognize individuals who have excelled in their respective fields and pioneered the course for others to follow. Tougaloo College is proud to recognize the contribution of this magnificent, distinguished group that will be honored today, for they have made a difference in society. Madam President, the Board of Trustees of Tougaloo College hereby authorize you to confer honorary degrees upon the following individuals: Stacey Y. Abrams, Doctor of Law; Reuben V. Anderson, Doctor of Law; Fred L. Banks, Jr., Doctor of Law; Vivian W. Pinn, Doctor of Science. Madam President.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Prater. The first candidate to be conferred the honorary degree, I'm going to not go in the order that the chairman said, because the first person would be last this time. It would be conferred upon the Honorable Reuben V. Anderson. Ms. Anderson, please join us at the podium. And I think there's a young lady that wants to come up here and stand with you.
My wife?
That's your daughter, Raina Anderson, who's a graduate of Tougaloo College and also followed in her father's footsteps at the University of Mississippi Law School. Reuben V. Anderson, in the annals of the college's history, you will be known as a devoted alumnus, respected trustee, and valued friend. In the World Book of Records, you will be noted as an accomplished lawyer, an eminent jurist, a philanthropist, a bridge builder, civic leader, and precedent setter. You've lived the ideals which our democratic society cherishes while breaking barriers and defying stereotypical myths that limit individuals and societies. A pioneering jurist, you blazed a path of progress that changed the face of the state's judicial system. The first African American to be elected as a Hinds County judge, elected judge to the 7th Circuit Court District, and the first African American to be appointed to the Mississippi Supreme Court. The breadth of your courage and the strength of your leadership have been demonstrated in the myriad of other capacities you were called to serve. The first African American to graduate from the University of Mississippi School of Law, an enterprising young civil rights lawyer, chairman of the Board of Trustees of Tougaloo College, president of the Mississippi Bar Association, corporate attorney, and board member to several Fortune 500 corporations. In each capacity, you have manifested an unwavering devotion and commitment to the ideals of a democratic society. Your firmly held beliefs in faith and the power of human beings to overcome prejudice and live by the rule of law are a beacon to all of us. Your dedication to the economic, educational, political, and social advancement of our state and nation is evident in your role in the establishment of the Jackson Medical Mall, the East Center at Jackson State University, the Reuben V. Anderson Pre-Law Program at Tougaloo College, and the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum. You have consistently used your legal acumen, masterfully brokering skills, and compassion for humanity to effect change, create opportunities to elevate our communities, and to help people to achieve higher aims. Your moral and ethical compass has been a source of encouragement, enlightenment, and hope in a sometimes jaded world. Reuben V. Anderson Tougaloo College is privileged to honor your life, your accomplishments, and your contributions in the year of its sesquicentennial anniversary. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and the approval of the Board of Trustees, it is a privilege to confer upon you our highest honor, the degree of Doctor of Laws, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. In token of this act, we bestow upon you the hood of this institution and granting you this distinction, dated under my hand and the seal of Tougaloo College, given this 5th day of May, 2019. Congratulations, Dr. Reuben V. Anderson.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm going to do a picture.
Yes.
Yeah, I can get that right on. Is that right?
Yes.
You want to choke him on it?
No.
We need to hold this one.
I'd like to see that picture. Yeah.
The next candidate to be conferred the honorary degree is Fred L. Banks, Jr. Please join me at the podium, Mr. Banks. Fred L. Banks, Jr., you have been described as a champion of the law, a sharp and fearless trial lawyer, a tough, fair, and thoughtful jurist, an accomplished commercial litigator, and an exemplar of reasoned judgment. Your jurisprudence manifested a deep regard for the dignity of every individual, fairness in the enactment of a humane and just system, and balancing the scales of justice. Your life is a symphony of admirable accomplishments and impactful contributions in the pursuit of the common good. Coming of age in the state of Mississippi of the 1950s and 1960s, you understood the perils of a separate and unequal society. You chose the field of law to equip you to help achieve justice and equality for African Americans. Using your immense legal talent, you fought and won many battles for justice to prevail, implementing civil rights legislation and desegregating the public schools in Mississippi. A patron of justice, you served as a legal counsel for the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund and as a member of the NAACP's Board of Directors for many years. Your life work has been that of service. You served in the legislative and judicial branches of Mississippi state government. As a member of the House of Representatives, you chaired the Ethics Committee and Judiciary Committee. You served as a circuit court judge for the 7th Circuit District and as a Supreme Court Justice. You've held appointments on a number of commissions in the state and federal level. In all of your varied roles, you help to add depth and subtlety to discussions that inform democratic decisions. With your knowledge and integrity, civil and professional demeanor, you have created respect for your work and achievements, and through your well-balanced decisions and actions, you have fostered understanding among opposing forces with diverse opinions, effecting change on a global scale. Fred L. Banks, Tougaloo College is privileged to honor your life, your accomplishments, and your contributions in the year of his sesquicentennial anniversary. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and the approval of the Board of Trustees, it is a privilege to confer upon you our highest honor, the Doctor of Laws, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. And in token of this distinction, this honor, we bestow upon you the hood of this institution and granting you this distinction. Congratulations with appreciation. Thank you. The next individual to be recognized is Dr. Vivian W. Pinn. Dr. Pinn, will you come forward? Dr. Vivian W. Pinn, it has been said that you changed the face of medicine. From the moment you received your Bachelor of Arts degree from Wesley College in 1963, you have been on a progressive path of excellence, bringing new meaning to the phrase, first in your class. You sojourned through the University of Virginia School of Medicine, earning your medical degree in 1967, the only woman and African American in the class, and completed your residency in pathology at the Massachusetts General Hospital in 1970, while also serving as a teaching fellow at Harvard Medical School. Joining Tufts University of Medicine as an assistant professor of pathology, you began the work that has since defined you as a dedicated physician, eminent researcher, and inspiring teacher. Your life's footprints are boulders of achievements, which also include the first African-American woman to chair an academic pathology department in the United States at Howard University's College of Medicine, and the first full-time director of the Office of Research on Women's Health at the National Institutes of Health. You've also served as the president of the National Medical Association. Dr. Vivian W. Pinn, esteemed physician, scientist, and pathologist, you have been a formidable advocate for women's health issues, working to ensure federally funded programs and studies include female patients, while likewise encouraging women to pursue medical and scientific careers. You have been widely celebrated with well-deserved honors. Dr. Vivian W. Pinn, today we recognize your life work, your remarkable contributions to the advancement of women's health issues through medicine, research, teaching, and your leadership and humanitarian reach. And upon the recommendation of the faculty and approval of the Board of Trustees, Tougaloo College is pleased to recognize you and the distinction of your career by conferring upon you its highest honor, the degree of Doctor of Science, with the rights, privileges, and distinction thereunto appertaining, dated under my hand and the seal of Tougaloo College, given this 5th day of May, 2019. And in recognition, we bestow upon you the hood of this institution. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and my honor to call the last recipient to the podium. That's attorney, stateswoman, and author, the Honorable Stacey Yvonne Abrams. Stacey Yvonne Abrams, you've stepped into history. You are a force of nature divinely positioned to be the formidable stateswoman that you are. Growing up in Gulfport, Mississippi, under the loving influence of parents who are our alumni at Tougaloo College, you understood responsibility, passion, and purpose. You dipped your pen in the inkwell of public service while you were a high school student working as a typist for a congressional campaign and later as a speechwriter. While a college student at Spelman, you worked in the office of Atlanta Mayor Maynard Jackson. You interned at the U.S. Environmental Agency and participated in protests in opposition to the Confederate flag. You are a Harry S. Truman Scholar and studied public policy at the University of Texas at Austin, where you received a Master of Public Affairs degree. You later earned your Juris Doctorate from Yale Law School. In the right places, doing the right things, having the right focus, you made strategic marks on your life map, arriving where you are today, a respected stateswoman, prolific writer, a reasoned voice for the future, and your life map is not fully drawn. Your illustrious career is decorated with roles of transformational impact. Legal practitioner with a focus on tax-exempt organizations, healthcare and public finance, deputy city attorney for Atlanta, legislator in the Georgia General Assembly, where you served as a House Minority Leader, and the 2018 Democratic gubernatorial candidate, becoming the first African-American female in the United States to be a major party's nomination for governor. The arc of your career and unrivaled achievements reflect the scale of your interests and the ability to integrate your focus on civil and human rights, courts of democracy, and equal treatment through all aspects of your life work. A generation of young women have seen you model leadership and advocate for inclusion. They have witnessed your commitment to securing a better life for all Americans and your leadership and beliefs in the dignity and possibility of our country. Your integrity and courage inspire admiration and imitation, and your example strengthens our hope that the daybreak of justice, peace, and equality may still come. Stacey Yvonne Abrams, in recognition of the distinction of your achievements, influence in a changing world, and humanitarian reach, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and approval by the Board of Trustees, Tougaloo College is pleased to confer upon you its highest honor, the degree of Doctor of Laws, with all the rights, privileges, and distinction thereunto appertaining. In token of this act, we bestow upon you the hood of this institution and granting you this distinction, dated under my hand and the seal of Tougaloo College, given this 5th day of May, 2019. And again, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to present to you the 2019 sesquicentennial commencement speaker. When we were considering a speaker for this significant milestone in the history of the college, we thought long and clearly about the person we wanted. We wanted someone who was connected with our history. That she is, the daughter of the Reverends Robert and Carolyn Abrams, Tougaloo College alumni. We wanted someone who understood the journey of HBCUs, that she is, a Spelman graduate. And we wanted someone who represented the future, and that she does. I present you the voice of the future, the Honorable Dr. Stacey Yvonne Abrams.
Thank you, Dr. Hogan. To the faculty, trustees, elected officials, including, I saw him sneak in, former Secretary Mike Espy. To my fellow honorary degree recipients, the Meritorious Award recipients, family, friends, and the most important people here today, the graduating class of 2019. Thank you. Dr. Hogan, I specifically want to thank you for the invitation to address the sesquicentennial celebration of Tougaloo College and for this extraordinary recognition. Your 17 years of service to Tougaloo, not only to this college, but to the legacy of academic achievement, of social justice, and community engagement will never be forgotten. And they will continue to serve the school, the city, our state, and our nation. Thank you so much, Dr. Hogan. Now, Tougaloo College has been part of my life for as long as I can remember. Indeed, for a time, I thought Tougaloo was the only college in America. And that's even though my mother was a college librarian. I just thought that was a word that they let them use because Tougaloo College was the only real campus. You see, my Aunt Max, my father's oldest sister, is a graduate of Tougaloo College. My Uncle Kenneth, her husband, is a graduate of Tougaloo College. My mother, Reverend Carolyn Abrams, is a 1972 graduate of Tougaloo College. My father, the Reverend Robert Abrams, is a 1971 graduate of Tougaloo College. I'm not done yet. My older sister Andrea, Dr. Andrea Abrams, did her first year of college here at Tougaloo. My sister Leslie, a federal judge in Georgia, did a semester here at Tougaloo College. I apparently got confused and went to Spelman. But even then, I understood that if I wasn't going to Tougaloo, I was going to an HBCU. And that not only got me, it got my brother Richard, who attended Payne College, and my brother Walter, who attended Morehouse College. So they got us all. But the thing of it is, I understood the legacy of Tougaloo not simply from what my parents would say, but from what they showed us. My mom and dad, who were sitting over there, I'm going to make them stand up for a second, Robert and Carolyn Abrams. My parents didn't just attend Tougaloo. If you heard my father tell it, he made Tougaloo. But my parents were a part of the civil rights movement. They would tell us stories about the safe haven they found in this magical place, with its trees and its history and its lessons learned. They told us stories of how my mother decided to keep dating my father even after she came to college here with him, and they fell in love again and again and again, so much so that they married at Tougaloo College, had their first child at Tougaloo College. So according to the story of my family, this is where you find your love, your career, and your future in the magic of Tougaloo College. And I'm here to tell you, brainwashing works. Now, to the class of 2019, I recognize that you all are 2 speeches away from getting out of here. You're not supposed to laugh at that one. But I came today to offer a little bit of advice. You see, I've learned, like most lessons, through a series of trials and errors, of successes and failures. And though you're half listening when I talk to you, thinking about the after parties, I want you to know that I'm here today because I believe in you. More importantly, because I know you. I know some of you are trying to figure out what happens tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. Some of you have already plotted your life plans. You have markers on the road to success. And some of you are just thanking God that people didn't look too closely at your GPA. But all all of you stand as testament to what not only Tougaloo College and HBCUs can produce. You stand as testaments to who we are. As John David Johnson so eloquently stated, who knew? You did. And as Sharia, who apparently does not sleep, explained, you all are the future of this college and of our country. But I'm going to give you a little bit of advice before I take my seat. I'm going to talk to you about exceeding your own expectations and theirs. I'm going to talk to you about owning your opportunities and about how to fall and still prepare to win. Now, in 2018, some of you may have heard, I ran to be the governor of Georgia. In the first few weeks after I declared my candidacy, thank you. In the first few weeks after I declared my candidacy, I was in the process that every candidate goes through, as a lot of the elected officials here understand. It's called dialing for dollars. You're supposed to start with your family and friends. My family doesn't have any money, so I started with friends. And you're calling them to ask them to invest in your future, in your vision, in your campaign. I reached out to friends and family and to friends of family and family of friends. I was on the quest to raise enough money to run for an office that no black woman had ever held in the history of the United States of America. And I did so knowing I was approaching this as a daughter of the South, as someone who was Mississippi raised and Georgia grown. I did this as someone who did not have a roadmap to follow because no one any of us knew of had ever made it that far. And so I called people who'd known me and loved me for years, people who'd invested in my first campaign for state legislature, who lifted me up when I served as the first woman to lead a party in the history of the state of Georgia. And when I called them, many of them said, yes, I'm happy to help, but a few of them, in fact, more than I expected, said, well, you know, Stacey, we think you're so smart. We think you're incredibly capable. You'd make a great governor, but you're a black woman. They whispered it to me like they were giving me a diagnosis of a terminal illness. My response was, I know. I've seen me. I was a black woman when you helped me the first time. I was a black woman when I led the state of Georgia's House Democrats to forcing back some of the worst and most draconian bills in Georgia history. I've been a black woman my entire life, but thanks for noticing. But you see, what was beneath their whispered comment was the limits of their expectations. You see, they wanted me to know that I had reached as high as I was supposed to and I should be happy where I was. In fact, one of them said, well, Stacey, if you just stay in the House for a few more years, when someone else becomes governor, you might get to be Speaker. And I knew who they thought should be that person. I knew who they thought would attain that goal because their expectations of me were much lower than my expectations of myself. But you see, the problem of low expectations is that we often listen to them. We let ourselves edit our desires and our ambitions. We start to believe that because no one has done it before, it cannot be done. And it doesn't take a friend whispering to you, you're a black woman, into a phone. We just look in the mirror and decide it's not for us. But Tougaloo College is here to tell you that you're better than that. That you're not only capable of your expectations, you're expected to exceed your expectations. That's why I'm here today, because I want you to know that you cannot edit your desires. You are not allowed to limit what you believe you can achieve. Because our expectations have to be sharper and stronger and bigger than anyone has thought of before, because the world is waiting for you to come. And we need your help to turn this world right side up. You have to want what you want, regardless of how big the dream, and you may have to get there in stages, and there may be stumbles along the way, but as long as you know what you want, you will get it. And I'm going to tell you that there's this little thing that happens where we start to use logic to tell us not to want. It's a very seductive thing. It convinces us through this very rational expectation, well, if it could be done, it would have been done. And the limits that they are whispering to me must be real. But we have to fight back against that logic, because we cannot allow ourselves to be less than because other people's visions is less than. We have to understand that maybe if it hasn't happened, it's because it was waiting for us to arrive and get it done. That is my expectation of you. But the way we exceed expectations is to know the difference between desire and dream and doing. Because often hard work looks like opportunity, and opportunity looks a lot like hard work. But dreams feel good, they wake us up. But plans get us there. I have a spreadsheet that I've had since I was 18 years old when a boy named Chad broke my heart and I decided I'd show him. I did a spreadsheet of all the ways I was going to be successful and rub it in his face in 20 years. I'm pretty close to getting it done. But the thing of it is, I wrote it down. I didn't just keep it in my head. I didn't just whisper it to my friends. I wrote it down so I could hold myself accountable. The way we exceed our expectations is to hold ourselves accountable to those dreams we've had and the plans we've made. And it's not enough to say, I want. We have to say, why do I want it and how will I get it? And you all have been trained by one of the best colleges in the country to figure out how you're going to get it. So I expect you to get it done. But once you've learned to exceed your expectations, you need to learn to own your opportunities. You see, opportunity is not a straight road, and sometimes to take full advantage, you've got to go through detours and pitfalls. You've got to make mistakes and stumble. But you also have to be prepared to look in places where others aren't looking. Because you may have heard, they don't always expect us to be as good as we are and to get as far as we do. Sometimes we're required to find hidden pathways to success because the main roads have been blocked, padlocked. The ways forward have been hidden from us like a GPS that's gone horribly wrong. But I believe in looking for unusual points of entry. You see, back in law school during my third year, I did something you're not supposed to do, so don't try this at home. I decided to write a novel. I wanted to write a spy novel and was told that in the 1990s when I was finishing law school that black women didn't write spy novels. That no one would publish me because even though the story was interesting, I refused to change my character and make her white, and I refused to change the storyline and make it male. And I listened, and then I thought about it, and I decided to tell the same story I planned to tell. I just made my story a romance novel. It was an unusual point of entry. I killed the same number of people, did exactly what I planned to do. And I went on to sell more than 100,000 copies at Selena Montgomery. I'm here to tell you that if the first road you take doesn't get you there, go back to the map and see what else you can do. Look for other avenues and other roadways. Look for other paths. But do not let yourself be stopped by a roadblock, by someone telling you you cannot. Because that's how they get us. That's how they trick us into complacency and to limiting our expectations. But I believe that we can do more, we can be more, we can see more if we're willing to go into ways and places we don't know about. But I'm also here to tell you that you should look around, because the people who will get you where you want to be are sitting right here with you today. You have to learn to use your networks, the alumni network, and when they ask you for money, give it to them. Because the thing of it is, when you hear about the good old boys network or the clubs, those are just ways of saying they help their own. And my expectation is that you will help each other and help your own. And don't just look to the CEOs and the presidents of the boards and the presidents of the college. Look to the secretary, who might know something about who is in that upper office and what they're looking for in you and what they've whispered about you. Talk to the IT guy to find out what he saw on somebody else's computer. Make sure you talk to your friends and your allies, the people you're competing with, because the thing of it is, none of you are going to get anywhere if you're constantly pulling each other down. But when you work together and network together to lift each other up, you can achieve anything. You see, this year when I ran for governor, I didn't run by myself. My friend Ben Jealous ran in Maryland, and my friend Andrew Gillum ran in Florida, and while we did not get as far as we wanted, we got further than anyone expected, and we will run again, and we will try again, and we will win again, because we are doing this together. To own your opportunities, utilize your networks, look for hidden pathways. but understand that the biggest obstacle to owning opportunity is often ourselves. See, you are now college educated, but don't fall into the trap of false humility. You see, you're going to leave here proud of yourself until someone points out that you didn't go to X college or Y college, that you didn't study this thing or know this person. Or worse, they're going to tell you that you shouldn't be so uppity and think so much of yourself, that you're supposed to be humble and self-deprecating. I did that for a while, I think 2 or 3 days. Until I realized that what people were calling humility was self-effacement. What they were asking me to do was to deny my own agency. People get upset when I say I'm smart. I've met me, I'm pretty smart. But the thing of it is, self-effacement doesn't mean you don't acknowledge who you are and what you know. Self-effacement is when you deny that it means anything. But humility is when you recognize that your achievement does not make you better than anyone else. You can be proud and confident and humble at the same time. I know what I'm capable of, but I know I can't get there alone. And while I know a lot, I've got much more to learn. That's humility, but that is not self-effacement. And the thing of it is, we are taught, especially as people of color, as graduates of HBCUs, that we are supposed to deny our own agency, to undermine what we've accomplished. Well, I didn't do it, someone else did, or it wasn't really me, it was a team effort. Recognize the team, but take credit for what you've done. Because the thing of it is, the team doesn't get a promotion. And the team doesn't pay your bills. And so you have to own your capacity and your opportunity. Don't deny yourself progress, but do it in a way that creates space for others to join you. Own your opportunity by owning your ownership of yourself. Be wholly who you are, but create space for being better than you are. But last, you have to learn how to fall and prepare to win. You may have noticed that I'm not the governor of Georgia. Now, we could go into all the reasons why, but I only have another 10 minutes. So I want you to understand how I prepared to fall and prepared to win. You see, we all have things we want. We have ambitions that we set. We have dreams that we have nurtured and set pathways for. I raised $42 million in my gubernatorial campaign, more money than anyone has raised in the history of the state of Georgia. I not only won my primary that people said I couldn't win, I won with 76% of the vote. And in the general election, we transformed the electorate of Georgia. We tripled Latino turnout, tripled Asian Pacific Islander turnout. In 2018, we increased youth participation rates by 139%. We increased black participation rates when we were told that you couldn't do higher or get better than President Obama did in Georgia. In 2014, when we had a really good turnout year, 1.1 million Democrats voted in the state of Georgia. In my election in 2018, 1.2 million black people voted for me. I tell you these numbers to tell you that we transformed what it meant to be a Georgia voter. And we did so not by denying who we are, but by being prepared to fall and prepared to win. You see, I wanted a campaign that centered communities of color, that talked about the challenges of being black and brown, of being Asian and poor, of being people who've been discounted, disinterested, and disenfranchised for generations. I wanted to talk about being from a disadvantaged community and how that is not a reason to fail, it's the reason to push harder and to succeed. And I did it. And it annoyed a lot of people. Consultants whispered to me, well, if you keep talking about being black, people are going to be afraid. Again, they can see me, I know. When I talked about issues of criminal justice reform and health care, about being in debt, I was told that I would be shamed out of the election, but I'm not ashamed of who I am or who my family is. Because I know how hard we've worked and how much sacrifice has been made, and I will not be ashamed of the hard work that puts me where I am. I was told that if I talked about issues that were not my own, if I talked about religious freedom and how we need to allow Muslims to have the same access in our country that we promise in our Constitution. That if I stand with an LGBTQ community as an ally, that I might be tagged wrong. I said, how can my rights be secured if the rights of others are in jeopardy? That's what I was told I couldn't do. And they said, well, Stacey, if you run the campaign that you're talking about running, you're going to fail because white people aren't going to vote for you. Well, in 2004, when John Kerry ran for president of the United States in the state of Georgia, he got 23% of the white votes. In 2008, President Barack Obama gained 23% of the white vote in Georgia. In 2016, Hillary Clinton got 21% of the white vote. In 2018, Stacey Abrams secured 25% of the white vote in the state of Georgia. I tell you that because I refuse to edit my dreams. I refuse to not own opportunity, but I also refuse to walk away from who I am and what I believe in order to achieve an outcome. What I didn't count on was running for an office at a time when voter suppression was on the rise. We anticipated there would be challenges, but we didn't know exactly what those challenges would be. And in the end, I did not become the governor of Georgia. Yet. Now, that's not an announcement because apparently there's this presidential contest happening, and I'm looking at that too. And there are jobs in between. But I tell you this today, class of 2019, because I want you to hear me clearly. I did not fail. I fell. And here's the difference. Failure is a moment. Falling is an activity. But rising up and moving forward, that is your obligation. That is your ambition. And that is your opportunity. That is what we are here to do. Because in the aftermath of one of the hardest moments of my life, I have been given a platform to talk about issues that matter to all of us. I've been able to take advantage of opportunities I didn't know exist and places I didn't know would welcome me in because I refused to let a moment's faltering determine the future of my life. There was an article written about me today in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that said that people are surprised I won't just go away. Well, my work's not done, and your work is not done, because you have to prepare to know that you're not going to get everything you reach for, but we all expect you to reach as far as you can. And when it doesn't work out, when you don't get all the votes that you are entitled to or that you worked for, when the promotion goes to someone else, when the class you took was a little harder than you expected in grad school, when your friends are reporting higher salaries than you have been able to attain, you're going to worry that you failed. You are going to make mistakes. You are going to fall. But you only fail if you stay down there. You only fail if you refuse to get back up. You only fail when you decide that you've reached the limits of your opportunity. I wrote a book recently, and the first chapter was the chapter that I believe is the most important. It says, dare to want more. Because hope hurts. Hope is painful because it lets you keep thinking there's more out there. Winning hurts because it makes you think that if you win this time, you got to win again and again and again, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But if you show up, if you act boldly, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you will have grown and become stronger. But you got to remember, you're not in this for you alone. You're in this for the folks who are outside these gates who don't know how to get into Tougaloo College. You're here for the ones who've been to the school but couldn't afford to stay. And you're here for the ones who never dreamed that what you have today is possible. I'm the daughter of legacy. I'm the daughter of two people who made themselves anew when they came to Tougaloo College, who decided to grow a family of 6 children and 6 grandchildren, including my niece Faith, who decided that they were going to make anew what they believed possible looks like, because they exceeded expectations, because they owned their opportunities, because they knew how to fall and they prepared to win. But they never forgot that we rise by lifting others, that we succeed by changing the lives of others, that we speak not for ourselves, but for those who look like us and think like us and may never know that their voices work. 2019, you are eagles now. You are expected to soar into the highest stratosphere, but you are expected to be protectors of those who do not know they deserve to be in those seats. And you're expected to use these beautiful and brilliant minds to transform the lives of those who don't know more is possible. And I'm here today on your sesquicentennial celebration because there is nowhere else in the world I should be. Because I stand as a product of Tougaloo College. And I say to each of you, let's get it done. Thank you so much.
Let's give Ms. Abrams another round of applause. That was absolutely outstanding. When I think about this sesquicentennial commencement, and I look at the students and I listen and reflect on what Ms. Abrams has just said, there could not be a more powerful message that I would want my soon-to-be Eagles to leave these hallowed grounds armed with. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you being here. I know how busy she is, and I appreciate so very much you coming to share these words because she's young and you can see that you can because she is, and that all you have to do is work and prepare and believe. Ms. Abrams, I say you did not fail, you won, and you fell forward. You fell forward in what we expect our students to do time and time again. So thank you so very much. Thank you for making this day for our students, our graduates. And now I'll call the talented Tougaloo College Concert Choir to perform once more. Thank you, Professor Albert and the members of the concert choir. I think I'm going to have to take one of the CDs with me in my retirement years so I can just turn it on, because I know among the many things I'm going to miss, it will be your melodious voices. We have a lot of special people here today, but we have two special groups, and I want to take the time now to recognize them. It is my honor to congratulate and recognize the distinguished members of the civil class of 1994. They're in the civil robes. Please just stand. They're here celebrating 25 years of service and leadership after leaving this great institution. Thank you for being here. Thank you for what you're doing in the larger world. Thank you. And the next group is the enterprising golden class of 1969. It is always an honor to confer diplomas. However, to confer these particular diplomas is a very special honor because they are conferred upon alumni who are celebrating 50 years of outstanding service and leadership, not only to our alma mater, but to the world. This is a class that has been said that anything that America and the world needs can be found in this class, and I agree with them. I agree with them. They have indeed paved the way for these graduates of 2019, as well as others to follow. Now, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby do confer these golden diplomas with the rights, privileges, and distinction thereunto appertaining, dated under my hand in the seal of Tougaloo College, given this 5th day of May in the year of our Lord 2019. Now, will the distinguished members of the golden class of 1969 stand and come forward? The first individual will be James P. Adams, Jr., and I understand that he will not be walking across the stage, so I want to recognize him at his place. What do you want me to do this over here? Anderson. Congratulations. Jimmy L. Armstrong. Congratulations. Jewel D. Avery. Willie Bailey.
You didn't eat my card.
You want to shake my hand too?
I sure will, you know it. Congratulations.
Annie Beth Johnson Ballots. Shirley Jean Billups. We'll bring it to you, no problem. Thank you. Jacqueline Bartley Bland. If I did, I did. Doris Griffith Bridgman. Barbara Sias Chen. Norman Schuler Clark. Willie Collins. Ollie Hicks Craft. Willie Craft. Regina Drake. Lemmy Flowers. Abraham Gates. Thelma Matlock Gibson. Cassandra Jackson. Shirley Cox Gordon. Geraldine Johnson Gray. Thomas Gray. Carolyn Evans Hackett. Larry Hanshaw. Shirley James Hanshaw. Melton Harris Jr. Jimmy Hampton Hartfield. Mary Ruth Haynes. Janice Lenore Henry. Georgia Holton Hoskins. Joellen Smith House. Bernice Camper Inge. Johnny Neal Jackson. Theodore Wade Johnson. Is that Ernest Jones? Congratulations. Eddie Lance Jr. Maria Jones Larry. Robert Edward Lee. Trussell Edward Lewis. Joyce Bolden McNair. Jerry W. Nickens. Evelyn Cannon. Jeroge. Let me do that again. Evelyn Cannon Jeroge. Thank you. Paulette Hayes Patton. Roy Lee Patton. Wesley F. Prater. Charmaine Hill Taylor. Thank you. Malcolm Taylor. So you don't have to walk out every minute. Barbara Ann Garrett Thompson. Get it all. Michelle Turner. George Willis Taylor. George Willis Tyler. Dorothy Ann Bong. Arnold Watkins Owens. Robert Charles Watson. Booker Winston. William Woods. This time, Professor Garner will come and announce the 2019 graduates who are graduating with academic distinction and present the candidates for the degrees. Dr. Prater, I think we're going to need you back up here.
It's okay if we have a little wind. Wind is better than rain any day. Candidates for bachelor's degrees who maintain high scholastic rankings while matriculating through Tougaloo College graduate with academic distinction. Graduating with academic distinction is based on an overall grade point average of 3.0 or higher out of a possible 4.0 throughout their entire academic career at Tougaloo College. It is my pleasure to announce that there are 66 honors students. There are 17 students graduating with honors, 24 cum laudes, 15 magna cum laudes, and 10 summa cum laudes. Students graduating with academic distinction are wearing gold honor cords. Students with gold honor cords, please stand and be recognized by this community. You may be seated. Congratulations. Madam President, it is my pleasure to report to you that the candidates receiving degrees have qualified in all respects for their degrees by successfully completing curricula offered by the various departments of the college, and they have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments. Madam President, I'm also pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the Master of Arts degrees with specific designation according to the department in which they have been qualified. Candidates for the Master of Arts degree, please stand.
Yeah. That's okay, you can keep it there. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Tougaloo College, I do hereby confer the degree of Master of Arts according to the department in which you qualified with all honors, rights, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. You now may be seated.
Madam President, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science with specification according to the department in which they have been qualified. Candidates for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees, please stand.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Tougaloo College, I do hereby confer the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science according to the department in which you have qualified, with all honors, rights, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. You may now be seated.
Madam President, members of the class of 2019 are worthy representatives of Tougaloo College's tradition of excellence. They are well prepared to leave us to make personal and professional accomplishments at the next level of their journey. This class has applied for and has received more than 51 pending and 24 accepted notifications to the most prestigious graduate and professional schools in the United States of America. This class has completed more than 13,806 hours of community service, showing that they care about their community. These students could not have achieved their level of excellence without the support and guidance of our faculty. We are indeed blessed to have a group of highly dedicated faculty who go beyond and above, who love their profession and do so not because of money. This is indeed a testament to the work of a committed group of individuals. Faculty, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for the mentoring, advising, dedication, and personal attention you have provided to these young men and women. Now, all right, is everyone ready? Okay. It is a tradition to call all names of the graduates as they cross the stage to be congratulated by the President. We respectfully request that everyone honor this occasion by recognizing and contributing to the dignity and the quiet celebration benefiting this ceremony, so that all family and friends may hear their graduates' names as it is announced. It is now time to confer degrees. Dr. Thea Williams-Black, Dean of the Division of Education, Supervision, and Instruction, will now come and present the degree candidates. Dr. Williams-Black.
Will the Division of Education, Supervision, and Instruction degree candidates please stand and come forward as your name is called. Master of Arts and Child Development, Adrian Hughes. Bachelor of Arts and Child Development, Tiara Harvey, cum laude. Bachelor of Arts and Child Development, Tiffany Lee, honors. Bachelor of Arts and Child Development, Jasmine Section, honors. Bachelor of Arts and Child Development, Ashley Stewart. Bachelor of Arts and Child Development, Shantiria Thompson, cum laude. Bachelor of Arts in Elementary Education, Jeremy Gray. Bachelor of Arts in Health and Recreation, Shavetta Buckner, honors. Bachelor of Arts in Health and Recreation, Eric Crawford II, cum laude. Bachelor of Arts in Health and Recreation, Gardner Dixon, honors. Bachelor of Arts in Health and Recreation, Darius Griffin. Bachelor of Arts in Health and Recreation, DeAndre Scott. Bachelor of Arts in Health and Recreation, Royce Williams Jr., magna cum laude. Will you please take your seats?
Dr. Andrea Montgomery, Dean of the Division of Humanities, will now come and present the degree candidates. Dr. Montgomery.
The Division of Humanities degree candidates, please stand and come forward as your names are called. Jordan Simmons, Bachelor of Arts in Art, cum laude. Tihara Ward, Bachelor of Arts in Art, cum laude. Ayana Darnell Williams, Bachelor of Arts in Art. Jonathan Quincy Burton, Bachelor of Arts in English, cum laude. Taquan D. Galladay, Bachelor of Arts in English, Bachelor of Arts in English. Janet Ruth Jackson, Bachelor of Arts in English, summa cum laude. Michaela Johnson, Bachelor of Arts in English, magna cum laude. Jade B. Tab, Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication, emphasis in advertising, cum laude. Jordan I.L. Williams, Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication, emphasis in journalism. Kyla Cherie McVeigh, Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication, emphasis in advertising and public relations, summa cum laude. Chandria L.D. Sutton, Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication, emphasis in journalism and public relations, summa cum laude. Akira Nicole Black, Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication, emphasis in public relations, honors. Kristen Nicole Newman, Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication, emphasis in public relations, magna cum laude. Shelsha and Antonia Lewis, Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication, emphasis in journalism and minor in English, honors. You may be seated.
Dr. Marion Lajou, Acting Dean of the Division of Social Sciences, will now come and present the degree candidates.
Division of Social Sciences degree candidates, Please stand and come forward as your names are called. Janet Michelle Edwards, Bachelor of Arts in Economics, emphasis in Accounting, magna cum laude. Sierra Q. Easter, Bachelor of Arts, Economics, emphasis in Accounting. Tia Nolan, Bachelor of Arts in Economics, emphasis in Accounting, honors. Alexis Williams, Bachelor of Arts in Economics, emphasis in Accounting, honors. Portia Daniel Foster, Bachelor of Arts in Economics, emphasis in Accounting and Business Administration. Shakina McBride, Bachelor of Arts in Economics, emphasis Accounting and Business Administration, cum laude. Vicky L. Kenton, Bachelor of Arts in Economics, emphasis in Business Administration, cum laude. Roderick Levy, Bachelor of Arts in Economics, emphasis in Business Administration. Brittany Cara Brandt, Bachelor of Arts in History. Reagan Kelly Johnson, Bachelor of Arts in History, summa cum laude. Marcus Dante Jones, Bachelor of Arts in History, summa cum laude. Jamie Cheryl Mitchell, Bachelor of Arts in History, summa cum laude. Battle, Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. Amber Yasmin Melton, Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, summa cum laude. Katoya Latrice Warren, Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, cum laude. Catherine Renee Simmons, Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, minor in pre-law, summa cum laude. Courtney C. Hill, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and certification in Disaster and Coastal Studies, cum laude. Keanu Lashan Hoy, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Alicia Brianna Moore, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Kevinisha Pilcher, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Wisdom Renee Randall, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, cum laude. Melinda S. Rice, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Julissa K. Sanders, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. General Melody Allen, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology and a certification in Disaster Coastal Studies. Megan Leigh Besseker, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, magna cum laude. Deja C. Bowler, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, honors. Janet Kishon Long, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology and a certification in Disaster Coastal Studies. Yadame Mani Thoms, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology. Tia Laurie Jones, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, emphasis in social work. Portia Renee Moore, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology. Abigail A. Munir, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, honors. Jessica Danielle Porter, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology. Germany Thompson, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology. Lee DeVos, the third, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, honors. Shantwana Lacrystal Rose, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, emphasis in social work, cum laude. Alexandra Brittany Joynight, Bachelor of Arts in Sociology, emphasis in social work and minor in psychology. You may be seated.
Dr. Jinghee Mao, Dean for the Division of Natural Sciences, will now come and present the degree candidates. Dr. Mao.
Candidates for the Division of Natural Sciences, please stand and come forward as your name are called. Cooper, Bachelor of Science in Biology, magna cum laude. Reuben Noel Gaines, Bachelor of Science in Biology. Camelia Relio Jackson, Bachelor of Science in Biology, honors. Brittany Nicole Johnson, Bachelor of Science in Biology, magna cum laude. John David Johnson, Bachelor of Science in Biology, summa cum laude. Caitlin Ryan Richmond, Bachelor of Science in Biology, magna cum laude. Aina Simone Parker, Bachelor of Science in Biology, magna cum laude. Jacinta Walker, Bachelor of Science in Biology. Valida Brianna Wally, Bachelor of Science in Biology, cum laude. Aliyah Carol Shamsuddin, Bachelor of Science in Biology, honors. Tanisha LaShawn Love, Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, magna cum laude. Quenisha Alexandra Williams, Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, honors. Jerica Junisha Frieder, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. Walter Torres Hassan Jr., Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, honors. Lazarus A. Black, Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, cum laude. Shalisa Olivia Montgomery, Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, cum laude. Ricky L. White Jr., Bachelor of Science in Mathematics. You all may be seated.
At this time, since it was so quiet when the names were called, we want everyone to give all the graduates one loud, last big cheer. Congratulations.
This concludes the awarding of the degrees. We will now acknowledge all graduating seniors who are members of the college's prestigious honor organization. that recognize students who excel academically or as leaders among their peers, often within a specific academic discipline, as the Academic Honor Society program is called. Graduating seniors who are members, please stand to be recognized. Alpha Chi National Honor Scholarship Society, Alpha Lambda National Honor Society, Beta 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 Honor Society, Kappa Delta Pi International Honor Society, Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, Sigma Xi National Honor Society, Sigma Tau Delta International English Society. Thank you. Let's give these graduates a hand for this great honor and distinction. It is my honor now to give my final charge to the graduating class of 2019. Congratulations. You are now eagles with the responsibility to take flight and soar. Keep in mind, eagles never creep. Spread your wings and fly across the world, making a difference. There are 5 simple maxims I want you to think about throughout your life, not just for today. They're simple and brief, yet important within the context of a free society, and they deserve your attention as educated citizens from whom much will be expected during the years ahead. First, education is a gift. Access to formal education is easy to take for granted. In this country, virtually it is within everyone's reach, but not necessarily equally accessible. Its abundance and supply sometimes seems to foreshadow and even obscure its importance as the foundation of our democracy. But it is not the case in some places in the rest of the world. Many of our brothers and sisters of color around the world do not have the access we enjoy. It almost goes without saying that the shackles of ignorance that take rise from this prohibits other societies from the basic tenets of democracy we too often take for granted, and the right to self-determination that we've come to expect. Second, service to others is your special privilege. Service to others must transcend vocational pursuits and compensation patterns. It is conceivable that the best way to change the world, something you have been encouraged to do for several years now, is through service to one person at a time. Third, leadership is your moral obligation. In my view, leadership is the enlightened feature that not only made this country what it is, but represents its best insurance policy to make it better. So it is expected that you will aspire to be a leader and do this at a level of quality significantly better than others. Fourth, the future, your future, remains open to invention. Most of you came here a few years ago without much of a clue about what you wanted to do, how to act and where you want to go, much less what you want to become. Now, as a result of much work by you, faculty, and staff, your life patterns and directions are coming into sharper focus. But all this is far from complete, and only you can finish the work. Stretch your reach, ensuring it exceeds your grasp. Finally, understand that with God as an eternal pilot, you are in control. You are in control. You are the architects of your life and destiny. You must decide how you will build your life. And it's my hope that you will dedicate your life to sharing the precious gifts of education, pursuing your leadership obligations, exercising your special privilege of service to others, and in inventing and living out a future that is good, just, and beneficial to society. If you do this and do it well, you will have fulfilled our absolute highest hopes for your development here and made us exceedingly proud. For now, go forth into the world and come to be known by your good deeds. Do very well in life, but also do good. Remember your alma mater. It is your charge to keep. Now it's time to move your tassels from the right side to the left, and please stand. This signifies your graduation. If you ever forget which side your tassel goes on, remember that you wear it on the left side over your heart to remind you of your alma mater. God bless you, and you may now change your tassels and soar proudly and boldly, my dear eagles. Congratulations. Trustee David E. Miller, President of the Tougaloo College National Alumni Association, will now come and administer the alumni induction oath to the 2019 graduated class. After administering the oath, he will recognize the Tougaloo College National Alumni Association's Alumnus of the Year. Trustee Miller.
Thank you, and congratulations to the new Eaglets and alumni of the college. Will you please stand with me and I will administer the oath, and upon your induction into the Tougaloo College National Alumni Association, you will receive a free one-year membership. So repeat after me. I hereby solemnly pledge unbroken allegiance to my alma mater in appreciation for the opportunities of development afforded me at Tougaloo College. I pledge active membership in the Tougaloo College National Alumni Association wherever I may be, through association with my fellow alumni. I shall forever do my best to hold the ideals and traditions of my alma mater. I pledge as a person to exemplify high ideals by rendering positive and dignified service to the community, the state, the nation, and the world, thus living to bring honor and respect to my alma mater. Congratulations, thank you, and welcome into the Tougaloo College National Alumni Association. You may be seated. The Alumnus of the Year, this year I would like to acknowledge our outgoing Alumnus of the Year for 2018-2019, Ms. Grace Britton Sweet, class of 52, and to introduce our new Alumnus of the Year for 2019-2020, Dr. Brigida K. Turner, class of 82. Thank you.
Thank you for being patient through today's commencement ceremony. It's a special time for our students. This sesquicentennial commencement ceremony is also special for another reason. This marks my last commencement as president of this great institution. I love you all too. I leave here to enter retirement with my heart prints all over this land. This institution means so much to me, and from it I've gained an awful lot. And it's been my honor to be allowed to lead and serve this institution for the past 17 years. My services here have been a labor of love, and it's been my absolute honor to serve Tougaloo as its 13th president. And I'm looking forward to continuing my support of this great institution under the leadership of the 14th president, Dr. Carmen Walters, who's here with us today. And I believe our husband, Wayne Walters, is also with her. We welcome them to this Tougaloo College family and cover you with our good wishes and our blessings. And I said to you last night, I'm here to give advice when invited, but I will send my money without being asked. Congratulations to you. Now allow me to just make quickly a few introductions, and then we will be closing. Please stand if you want to and be recognized, but I just want to acknowledge our speaker again, the Honorable Stacey Abrams and her family and friends. Thank you again for all you've done here today. The honorees and their family members and friends of the honorees, we appreciate you. all of you who've added distinction to the long list of alumni of this great institution. Again, let me recognize the enterprising golden class of 1969, 50 years, and the silver class of 1994. Thank you all. Members of the Tougaloo College Board of Trustees and their family members, thank you for what you do, all the time that you give to leading and serving this institution. Would you just stand so people can see who you are? Thank you so very much for being here and taking the time out of your schedules to do so. All of the parents and family members and friends of the graduates, and this probably of the entire audience, thank you. You have been the wind beneath their wings, I believe, in so many ways that you cannot recognize. The elected officials who are with us today, and those who are vying to be an elected official, thank you all for being here. The alumnus of the year, Dr. Brigida Turner, all of the reunion classes, our distinguished alumni, the President's Cabinet, faculty and staff, thank you for all you do for Tougaloo College every day. Our students are the reasons that we are here and do all that we do. We appreciate you. We hope you have safe travels and worthy summers. The junior marshals, my husband Marvin Hogan, and other family members. I know there's somewhere, I saw him come through earlier with former Congressman and U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Mike Espy. I think they came in together. And a special thanks to Dr. Roy Irons, class of 1972, for providing these beautiful flowers for the commencement activities, and Ms. Bernice Smith, class of 73, for providing refreshments for various events. And I would just like to thank the Commencement Steering Committee, who planned and orchestrated the Commencement Week activities, and express my appreciation to the faculty, staff, administrators, and trustees who give their time today to participate. Your presence means a great deal to our graduates. And as I depart from this special place, I leave with you my unwavering support and loyalty and my undying love for all time. Good day. And last of all, the 2019 graduating class, congratulations. Now do what you do. Thank you. This time we will sing the alma mater.
Our closing benediction. Our closing benediction will be simple. If you remember this, you will never fail wherever you go. Would you please repeat after me? In the name of the Father, I am created from dignified dust. In the name of the Son, I am created from dignified dust. In the name of the Holy Spirit, I am created from dignified dust. Go in peace and with God.